We've all been there. You write a perfectly logical, rock-solid script, deploy it into the wild, and it instantly breaks. Why? Because a user submitted a date in a slightly unexpected format. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Traditional software fails the literal moment reality stops matching its rigid, hard-coded instructions.
Now, this brittleness poses a massive question for the future of engineering and automation. What actually happens when our systems stop blindly following rules and instead start actively pursuing goals? Welcome to Day 2 of our Daily Explainers. By the end of our time today, you will understand the fundamental architectural shift happening right now in our industry. We are moving away from deterministic applications and toward autonomous, goal-driven AI agents.
Okay, let's dive into Part 1, Recipes versus Head Chefs.
To build some intuition here, think of traditional software as a very strict line cook. You hand them a precise recipe of if-then-else logic. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. But if they are missing a single ingredient, say a database field is null, they don't adapt. They just crash. They throw a giant error. An AI agent, on the other hand, is like a head chef. You don't hand them a rigid recipe, you just give them a goal. Something like, make dinner. They'll look at the unstructured ingredients sitting in the fridge, figure out what works together, adapt on the fly, and actually get the meal done.
And this exact difference is why traditional apps and even standard robotic process automation completely freeze when faced with real-world uncertainty. They demand perfectly structured inputs every single time. They literally cannot handle a messy email, a poorly formatted PDF, or an ambiguous user request. It's just not in their DNA.
So here is the core shift we are seeing. We are moving from deterministic systems, ones that demand pristine structured data just to execute a simple task, toward probabilistic systems. These are systems that can actually reason their way through a messy, unpredictable environment. That brings us to Part 2, Perceive, Reason, Act. Let's ground this technically. In the engineering world, we call this Agentic AI. Instead of a static script running strictly top to bottom, an AI agent operates asynchronously. It's not a single pass. Rather, it runs a continuous, dynamic loop of execution. That loop consists of 3 main steps. First up, it perceives. It actively gathers unstructured context from its environment, taking in the messy reality of the data. Second, it reasons. It uses a large language model, basically acting as its cognitive engine, to formulate a plan and access its memory. And third, it acts. It executes commands through external APIs. But here is the real magic. After acting, it observes the result and loops right back to Step 1 to see if it actually achieved the overarching goal. Notice how differently this behaves compared to traditional machine learning. Traditional AI typically classifies data in synchronous, isolated batches. It is essentially just a tool predicting a single output for a human to review. Agentic AI, though, is asynchronous and event-driven. It maintains its own state and memory to orchestrate complex decisions over an extended period of time. Because of this continuous feedback loop, the software isn't just executing a rigid command anymore. It actively interprets the user's underlying intent, analyzes the shifting context around it, and then adapts its execution strategy entirely on the fly. Let's move to Part 3, Agents in the Wild.
Let's look at exactly where this architecture is replacing traditional enterprise workflows today. As practitioners, you are likely already using this, maybe without even realizing it. Tools like GitHub Copilot and Cursor use these exact agentic loops to dynamically automate your coding tasks. But it is not just for code. It's rapidly invading IT operations, analytics, and autonomous customer support systems too.
A highly concrete example of this is AIOps. Imagine an agentic system receiving a vague, conversational IT ticket from a frustrated employee. It perceives the messy text, reasons through live server logs to diagnose the actual technical issue, and then acts by executing a bash script to fix it. It fully resolves the ticket without a human engineer ever needing to step in and route it.
Finally, Part 4, the key takeaway. To wrap things up, traditional software isn't disappearing. It will definitely coexist with AI in the enterprise. If your data is perfectly clean and the rules literally never change, absolutely use traditional deterministic software. But remember this one takeaway. Traditional software is for the predictable. AI agents are for work that requires thinking. As you design and build your next system, ask yourself, are you writing a recipe or are you hiring a chef?